It's a fine line between, drinking wine and squashing grapes, as we say in this business. And sometimes it's very subtle.
We are live. I'm excited. Let's dive into it. Nick, what do we got?
Let's go to one that I've seen on the internet a lot today. Not one that I necessarily agree with, but one that has been out there a lot today.
Okay.
Darius Slay should be the Steelers' first call to fill their cornerback room.
No, overreaction. First call. You know how many people I'm calling before I'm calling Darius Slay? At least one of them. And his name is Davante Jackson. Darius Slay would be awesome. He's looking for a contender. He's looking for the Detroit Lions. We said on All NFL Talk today that he might ruin the Steelers' season, to be honest with you, by going to a different AFC North team that is a contender. I don't think Darius Slay is number one on the Steelers list. Maybe number two, maybe number three, not number one. Davante Jackson is number one. I'm sorry. And this is in order of realistic contracts, okay? Should they call him? Is that what you said? They should call him first?
Because if they should call.
I still think that's an overreaction. DJ Reed, Byron Murphy, and Charvarius Ward should be their first calls. Young, big-time options. Hey, what's the price tag? Okay, sounds good. Thanks for talking. See you later. Next call is Darius Slay. Hey, what's the price tag? Okay, sounds good. Thanks. And then the third one is Davante Jackson, which is probably the one you're going to sign. Maybe second phone call, but you're obviously going with the younger. Like if you're just testing the market, that's the thing. The Steelers are not going to ignore these guys. We could say they aren't going to sign them. If they don't call DJ Reed, that's come on. What are they doing? Omar's already on the phone. He's already had these conversations with these guys. Darius Slay's agent is probably going to get a phone call. It's going to be after the big names, obviously. This is an overreaction.
All right, let's go to two of mine, and I think you'll think they're both pretty good. First one, soon-to-be birthday boy Justin Fields and Davante Adams will sign on back-to-back days this weekend.
Davante Adams to the Steelers?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Fields will sign, and Davante will say finally, and he'll sign.
That's an overreaction. That is an overreaction. Look, Davante Adams got a front row seat to the Justin Fields show in Vegas, and it was not that impressive. And I don't think he's going to be all gung-ho to jump back in there. I think he's waiting for his buddy Aaron Rodgers to pick a team and see what that team is. Now, if that team is the New York Giants, I don't know if it's like a definite, I'm going to go to the Giants. That sounds like a good time. The Steelers are calling me. I actually just got off the phone with Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson's trying to recruit me. But we're going to go to New York and play with 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's going to happen. I could see the Saints are in cap hell. That's never going to happen. It's not the Steelers. I can tell you that much. It makes sense for the Steelers that he's not signing before Tuesday unless this turns into the most chaotic time of all time over the next 5 or 6 days. Justin Fields, maybe. Davante Adams, no. This is an overreaction.
I got another one for you here. The Steelers will not draft a wide receiver in the first 4 rounds of the 2025 NFL draft.
Look, as crazy as this sounds, the Steelers did not draft a wide receiver in the first 4 rounds of my latest mock draft, which is titled Steelers Plans, something like that. I don't remember what it's titled, but Steelers plans become clear. That's what it is during the NFL Combine, which means I got a pretty good read on what's going on right now. And Emeka Egbuka and Matthew Golden were impressive. And I think Emeka Egbuka would be a steal at 21. I think Matthew Golden is working his way into the first round, but I truly believe it is going to be Kenneth Grant or Walter Nolan with the first pick. I think it's going to be a running back that they hope and pray is Travion Henderson. And then I think it's quarterback. And Quinn Ewers is the name that I had, and he's the name that, rumor has it, had really, really, really good interviews at the NFL Combine, impressed a lot of people. From there, I mean, it's pickings. You could go wherever you want. But I would guess in the middle of the draft, the Steelers are looking for Mason McCormick's competition. I would guess in the middle of the draft, the Steelers are looking for a second defensive tackle. I would guess in the middle of the draft, the Steelers might be looking for a corner. but I don't know if they're looking for another number 4 wide receiver. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that's a very real possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers to not draft quarterback, maybe in this entire thing, but definitely in the top 4 rounds.
Let's go to Phillips' overreaction from earlier today. Said letting Fields and Wilson walk and signing Rodgers to a 1-year deal is best. Upside is a deep playoff run. Downside is finally not winning enough games to get a higher draft pick and a better quarterback in the draft next year.
Okay. The reasoning isn't terrible. It makes sense. Now, best option, I think there's an argument for it, but no, the answer is no. Justin Fields comes with some downside. So if you're looking for the positives of the negative, Justin Fields could stink. His team's had the number 1 pick in the draft before. It wouldn't be the first time that he has brought a team to the bottom 5 in the NFL. I don't think that's going to happen. I also don't think Mike Tomlin would let Aaron Rodgers ruin a season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if any team is going to say Aaron Rodgers is going to win 9 games, I do not care. It is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I personally don't think the floor is lose enough games to have a top 5, 6, 7 pick. I think the floor I think you could put me and you back there and we'd still have a shot at 8 games. I really, truly believe that Mike Tomlin would do what needs to be done to put us back there. Aaron Rodgers, I get it. I understand it. Overreaction only because, if you're going to go with that logic, okay, upside is a deep playoff run. Downside is top 5 pick. Justin Fields could get you both of those things, and he's 25 years old. Russell Wilson could probably get you both of those things. That dude went 6-5 during his run with the Steelers. He was not on pace to have a winning record if he started the whole year. That wasn't going to happen. And if you're looking for the negatives and you just want to crash out, go sign Daniel Jones, man. That guy's upside is, hey, the Giants screwed up and this is the next Sam Darnold, and his downside is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. So options are there. I think this one's an overreaction. Aaron Rodgers, maybe, but no.
You overestimate my decrepit right shoulder because I wouldn't be able to get 8 points, let alone 8 wins behind an NFL offense.
How far do you think you could throw an NFL football?
15 yards, maybe? I don't know. 20 yards, maybe, if I'm really heaving it and stepping into it, full on Little League center field crow hop, might get it 25 yards.
I was sitting there with Caboli one day, our good friend of the show who's never been on the show, Mark Caboli, saying, how far can you throw this football? I said 25 yards. He said 40. I said, dude, you're going to tear 4 ACLs, man. You're more than you have to tear. That's not going to be able to happen. But he was pretty confident. I said, dude, this thing's the size of my head. It's not. There's no chance. I got little hands. I got Kenny Pickett hands.
Throw it accurately. I could probably drop back and just heave it, but I'm not going to be able to hit a receiver that far downfield.
I could probably hit a receiver 40. 25 yards, maybe 30 yards, and a floater. It's getting intercepted, but on it, it's still getting intercepted. Some kid's going to run out of stands and pick it off, but I could probably do it. I don't know. Either way, Caboli, no chance, 40 yards.
Let's jump down to Walter, who says, overreaction. They will sign Russ for $40 million. I do not want this, by the way.
Yeah, that's an overreaction. I'm telling you, Russ's name has faded and faded fast in the Pittsburgh Steelers conversation. It is most certainly Justin Fields. And it's so Justin Fields to the point where I was having a conversation with somebody and they said, Are you feeling good that you guys put this out so early? And I was like, no, it's not across the finish line yet. It can't, I'm not going to celebrate anything. And this is my job. I'm excited to bring this to you guys. And that's how confident people are starting to get in it being Justin Fields. So things can happen. Money is a massive thing in this conversation and remains much bigger than I think anybody is willing to admit right now. It is Justin Fields, but Justin Fields wants money. Everybody wants money. That's what the NFL runs off of. And if the Steelers aren't willing to give up that money, I bet you the Jets will. I bet you the Giants will. I bet you some other team will. and that's going to come into play. But yeah, no, it's not Russ, man. Like I could tell you, the whole like everybody wants it to be Russ if it's not Justin in Pittsburgh. I think if Justin signed tomorrow to the Jets or to the Browns or to the wherever, it would be a wild turn of events with just a complete roller coaster ride ahead of us when it comes to the quarterback placement.
Let's go to Lindsay, who says Adams and Cup will go to the Chiefs. The Steelers will start with the same receiving core, Van Jefferson at number 2 again. Is that an overreaction?
Yeah, Van Jefferson is not going to come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think he really wants to, like I don't think he was the biggest fan of how disliked he might have been amongst the receivers in Pittsburgh. I don't think that's going to happen. This one's a pretty easy overreaction. Kupp and Adams to the Chiefs could happen. The big thing here is the Rams are not going to trade Cooper Kupp to the Chiefs. They'll give him to a contender. They'll do him right. They're not going to give him to Kansas City. Like that one's not going to, they're smart enough to know we want to win a Super Bowl. And if Cooper Kupp plays us in the Super Bowl, he will have 300 yards. And that's not something they're willing to do. So this one's an overreaction.
Let's go to Shower Curtain, who says, overreaction. The Steelers let a game-changing future Hall of Fame wide receiver slip right through in the draft for the usual defensive tackle.
I don't think that's the case unless you consider Matthew Golden to be that future Hall of Famer, which, everybody's opinion is valid until proven otherwise. And if that's how everybody considers him, cool. I don't consider Matthew Golden a future Hall of Fame. I think he's got a lot of upside. I also think a defensive tackle would be a better pick. Emeka Egbuka, I think, would trump most guys in the first round for the Steelers. I just don't think he's going to get to 21. So not an overreaction, I guess, but it depends on how you view Matthew Golden.
And let's finish off Overreaction Tuesday with Pittsburgh Hornets, who says, overreaction, a rookie drafted early would be better than Russell Wilson.
This is an overreaction. Look, if this was a draft class where you were taking somebody late in the first round that you were like, yeah, you know what, whatever. Like, you could go back. It's been a while since it's been Lamar. Lamar was the last end of the first round quarterback that was there that people were like, oh, maybe there's some good upside there. Since then there hasn't really been one. If this was Kenny Pickett, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, definitely better than Russ. I don't see Jackson Dart being it. I don't see Quinn Ewers being it. I don't see Dylan Gabriel or Will Howard or any of these guys being better than Russ. So we'll go over reaction. I think for the long term, maybe, but if the Steelers drafted a quarterback at 21, you'd probably have good odds that quarterback is not the quarterback in 2 years and that somebody else is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe Russell Wilson again. You never know. So I'm going over reaction.